everyone! Thursday night is the RoundTable night. This is the What If RoundTable. The real what if is the friends we made along the way. Welcome to anybody. If it's your first stream today, thank you very much for showing up, as well as our regular visitors and contributors. We also have a full roster today. We have, of course, Sophie B.
Hello.
And, of course, Hav.
Hello.
Yes, so basically the What If Roundtable is a place where you can contribute loads of different like what if scenario things going forward, as in helping frame about where the channel will go, as well as of course with super chats contributing to the channel and helping to keep us going, especially in these uncertain times. We started our second lockdown today in the UK and I need a distraction. So basically this is what we're doing. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, second lockdown, huh?
Yeah, we're in second lockdown
boy.
for an entire month, so there we go.
We started it yesterday, so hey, I know your pain.
We're in on this together, Hav.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Hashtag Europe, boys.
hashtag Europe. But yeah, so the super chats are there. Help contribute, donate what you can, as well as get a what if idea in. Our first contribution is from Ice King 688 with a £50 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. I know this has probably been asked 1,000 or more times, but what if the Cell Jr. survived Gohan's rampage in the Cell games? To put an extra spin on it, though, you could do something like when Piccolo Daimao was defeated by Goku. Well, the thing is, though, Toryotaro decided to do that for us. Like, there is a
all of them survived actually, because they apparently all they have the nuclei. I think that's
the nuclei, yeah.
Nuclei, and that's that, and apparently like 17 trained them, but like I think that the Piccolo Daimao is like a pretty interesting take, and I think that he could be basically what Piccolo is to Goku, like start as a bitter enemy and end up like a frenemy to Gohan, and maybe later a mentor to Pan. That would be funny.
Yes, and the fact
that
is
would be interesting.
We know they can talk, so
yeah,
they're not like Cybermen where they just go. They don't just do that. So
regardless of what happens in Xenoverse.
yeah,
that's true. It's anyway, Viper Phoenix, Monkey and Slug, Season 2, Episode 2. To become a better manager, Piccolo goes to a convention. Can the team handle themselves under the temporary new manager, Garlic Jr.? Monkey and Slug. And Viper Phoenix is at it again with some more voicing things. Frieza. Dodoria's gone! Zarbon, quickly! Dodoria's gone! Zarbon, quickly! Get me 5 alien fighters with attitude! You mean the Ginyu Force, my lord. The caption is, Frieza laughs while downing 5 bottles of wine. To be honest, that's still not as catchy as in VR Troopers. Forces of darkness, hear my plea! Take me back to virtual reality! Yeah.
Oh my gosh, VR Troopers. Now there's a blast from the past.
Yes.
We are VR.
Yeah. I love Johnson's video about it.
I think we had like 5 episodes of that dubbed, and like I think 1 season of Beetleborgs. So long ago.
Beetleborgs. It's just like, that was weird. Anyway. And now they're Beetleborgs. It's like, it's just, I don't know. The Saban's themes are just, they stick with you. They do. Anyway,
they do.
Dark Snake X5. Hey Masako, if you found out that some artist had H stuff with your character Ranch on it, how would you feel? Well, first of all, if you're talking about R&R Ranch, no. Straight up, no.
Absolutely not.
Not.
Yeah, as in like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to put a stop to this and say absolutely not. There's that. Well, but hey, if it's adult ranch, you know, like 18 plus and, you know, basically, you know, Brick Ranch, then okay. All right, fine. That is fine.
Point being, if she's an adult, you know, fine, whatever. You're not going to be able to stop people. But like, if she's a kid, don't do that. Please, don't do that.
You will never find them near my lemon trees.
Yeah.
Never. You'll never find those near my lemon orchard. I really need to make a channel out of that. You know,
it's more of like lime orchard right now. Bro.
Oh my gosh, you could even have the intro be like you could blue screen it or something, but you could be sitting out like on a lawn chair out in the midst of a lemon orchard, drinking lemonade to introduce each episode.
You'd have to have the proper, like, you have to bring in the voice and go, "Hi there, and welcome to the lemon tree. I hope you're doing comfortably today. So you will find that this content is far more different to what you're normally expecting. You have to go full ASMR on you." As in, like, proper
and
different
you can have, like, full on, you know, lemon juice advertisement with you apparently, you know, gathering a lemon out of a tree from your garden.
Oh, no, literally, I'm just like, I'm juicing a lemon in my kitchen. It's like,
yeah.
And I just, like, juice it, and I go like, "Oh, wouldn't you know it? Here is a brand new lemon for you right now." And I just drink it. Let us begin.
every episode introduction is a new lemon associated like intro.
Yes.
One will be with lemon drops.
Oh, let's move on. Okay. Right. Okay. Paparazzi. What if Krillin beat Goku in the 22nd Budokai? Well, if it was the 22nd Budokai, I think Goku would be happy with that. Like, probably, happier than it would be with Tenshinhan, because, relationships back then were a little bit strained. I think Goku would be happy for him, and it would really give Krillin that extra boost of confidence.
Yeah, and I mean, it would just spur Goku to try and achieve more, you know?
Yeah.
Because Goku's always thrilled when people overcome him to present him with a higher challenge, right? It's why he goes and does the idiotic crap like giving his enemies Senzu beams, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is definitely absolutely the case. Viper Phoenix, going back to a previous what if from months ago, how would Raditz and the rest of the Saiyans react if they couldn't understand Goku speaking? Because he learnt to speak the default Earth language. Well, that makes sense, really, because, if the Saiyans, they spoke a different language, I mean, basically, you don't have that issue in Dragon Ball, but, yeah, like, maybe, like, Goku would have, like, he sort of understands the language, but yet he doesn't. Like, he can sort of get the gist of what people are saying, but he's not sure why. It's like how Piccolo Jr., like, knows how, when Kami's speaking to him, telepathically in Namekian, I can understand it, but just isn't sure why. So, I feel like it'd be some sort of those lines. Like, Goku wouldn't fully understand, but it would certainly make things a little awkward, and Vegeta would certainly have an accent. And I'm not talking about Speedy Dub accent. You're not going to get Vegeta combine our body, like something like that.
Oh my god!
You can get that. No.
But what if everyone from space, not just Moro, but just everyone from space was Scottish?
Oh, and Moro was the only one that wasn't.
So then you wind up with Scottish Saiyans.
Scottish Frieza. Give us Scottish Frieza, Mas.
Oh, I don't think I could do the Frieza accent in the Scottish accent. No, I don't think I could do that.
Dodoria!
Okay. Speaking of Dodoria, actually, the next one is from Paparazzi, and he asks, what if Zarbon and Dodoria turned good? Well, if they...
I am toying with that idea for some time. Again, we had that last week, so...
It is an idea we want to explore, because they could make a good buddy act, but basically it would have to be a minor miracle for them to be able to escape without Frieza noticing, and not killing them on the spot. So those are the things you have to consider. But on the whole, I think they could make it on their own. Viper Phoenix. If 1 day equals 1 year in the hyperbolic time chamber, then why don't they grow sensu beans in there? That is a really good point. I don't understand why they don't. But I'm supposing
I've always thought that it could be related to the fact that, like, you know, they're grown up in the special soil in Corrin's Tower and stuff like that, and on the lookout and places like that, right? So it could be because of the association with that as kind of like a centralized key point on the planet, as far as like receiving not just like people's thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, but like spiritual energies. It's a gathering point for all of those energies that build up from all the peoples of the earth in that region, right? And that's what makes it so that these sensu beans are so potent as far as spiritually and like energy wise, right? So if you were to try to grow sensu beans in the hyperbolic time chamber, it wouldn't work because it's a void. There's no spiritual connection. There's no energy connection for them to kind of grow, you know?
Yeah, no sunlight, as Hav says, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah, that is all very, very true. Matthew Hunt, seeing as to how Moro failed to contain the powers of an angel, could Majin Buu, being the weird being he is, contain and use what Moro couldn't? In theory, yes. I mean, he'd basically be able to handle it better, because he is just an amorphous blob. And he is, he is a gene, as in he is a genie. He has magical properties, much more, I'd say, than Moro, who learnt magic. But Buu is straight up a magical being.
You merely adopted the magic. Boo was born with it, molded by it.
Maybe it was Maybelline.
Oh God.
No, but I'd say Boo probably would have a better job at it. Yeah.
However, it it had to keep his psyche stable. Like, his psyche is very stable. It could shatter his mind. His body can take him, but we don't know what would happen to his mind.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't get off scot-free from, actually using it, because the Scot didn't. Okay, Viper Phoenix again. What if the reason Hercule became a fighter was because he was inspired by when Goku and Krillin fought as kids in the Budokai all those years ago? Well, the thing is, like, he doesn't really strike me as somebody who got inspired to do martial arts, fervently like that. Or alternatively, he did see it, he was inspired by it, realized he wasn't really as good as he thought he was, then he went to the Satan Dojo, where they basically teach you excuses, and that's how he was able to do it. But then he basically was able to find his craft. I think that could reasonably be the case. They seem to be roughly of similar ages. So, yeah, it'd be just a nice little conversation that he'd have with Goku to explain, I don't know how you do it. I actually looked up to you at one point, or something like that. So, Arthur E. King, and this one's a 3-pointer. So, question, Masako, in your Ginyu Turn Good series, what if you showed the 5-way fusion trying to fight Cell, change bodies, and fusion ends? Then you can have the 5 Ginyu members with the personalities of the 5 main people who make up Cell, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Dr. Gero, and the Ginyu Force. Inside Cell's body, can't control the body, right? But the 5 cells use to change bodies simultaneously and get Cell back. Wow, that's as confusing as, the Goku Black arc, to be honest.
I mean, I know you guys want to see 5-man fusion in this series. I will word it like that. Not in Cell Saga.
Yeah, it's a little bit too soon, because again, you have to remember, Goku only finds out about it from the Metamorans, who were long since departed from the physical realm. So they're basically in the other world. So the only way that Goku would have learned about it was from the Metamorans when he died. So there really wouldn't be that point where he could actually get to it at that time. But Arthur, it would be very cool. I will give you that, Arthur. That would be a very cool visual. A literal force of the Ginyus. That would be cool. Darksnake. Masako, is it possible after episode 7 of R&R comes out, can 8 or 9 be a Halloween or Christmas episode? And can we have some concept art ranch in Halloween and Christmas costumes from young to teen and adult? You know what? Probably for the Christmas shirt design, I probably might just like do an adult ranch in like Christmas gear. Yeah, that might be cool. Adult
ranch sporting the Santa suit look is a good thought. Like I could always go for more of buff ranch.
Yeah. No, we could definitely do some of that. We have the summer look. We can have the winter look. Yeah. But incidentally, Dark Snake, in terms of episode 7, we're actually probably going to have, before the year's out, a mini-sode of R&R between bridging episode 6 and 7.
That kinda will work like a late Halloween episode if you think about it.
You could call it episode 6. You could call it episode 6.5, really. Yeah. But I think you'll like it. It's got some things that will make things a lot more sensical and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Good to see what is next. Sam Hennis. Hi guys, what if Vegeta joined the Ginyu Force? It sounds impossible, but hear me out. This is totally something I see Frieza doing, assigning Vegeta under Ginyu as a way of humiliating the young prince. Oh yeah, I think I did something similar to this in a What If, where like Frieza wants to keep an eye on Vegeta, so he gives him an ironic punishment, basically. So honestly, Sam, I'd say that would make, instead, like, say, for example, before Frieza's still at, like, Frieza Planet 79, he finds Vegeta. Oh, Vegeta, good thing I caught up with you. I wish to bring you on a latest mission. I'm wanting you to station with the Ginyu Force for a while. Think of you as an honorary candidate. You'll be working under Guldo. It's like, what? No! 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 Yes, I knew you'd like it. So, I could totally imagine that. So, again, I'd say, and Goldo would say, now who's throwing the dog treats, eh, Vegeta? So, it's just like, definitely would do that. Okay, Paparazza. What if all the Frieza soldiers of Frieza were revived and turned good? I wish everyone Yamcha'd by Frieza and his men were revived. No caveats. It's basically what we did in DBZA Season 2. Like, the whole technicality of anyone killed by Frieza and his men. So, in theory, that would be really cool. And I imagine probably a lot of the people in the Frieza Force were not really wanting to be part of the Frieza Force. It'd be more along the lines of they sort of had to, or they died, basically. Like, Frieza would just acquire them, or they joined up out of fear, or probably, like, some kind of, like, ultimatum or something. Like, they were drafted, I'd say. So, I imagine if the society would crumble within the Frieza Force, then lo and behold, they would actually be part of the general squad. Or they would leave. Okay. Margin Hercule. What if Sorbet wished for someone stronger than Frieza to lead and got Cell instead? Yes. Oh. Ooh. Is that a fusion?
Ginyu and Frieza.
Oh my. This needs to be shared in the chat.
Yeah.
We have the Frieza fusion of Frieza and Ginyu, Ginyuza.
Yeah.
Or Furinyu, or something like that. And definitely Furinyu.
It's called Ginyuza in
Why did the armor become midriff bearing?
I don't know.
Because to show those positively magnificent abdominal muscles. At least I think.
I don't know. They are owning it.
Yeah. But I imagine probably if Sorbet did, then it would be a lot very confusing. And I don't think Cell would toe the line. Because no one's going to tell him what to do. Like, it's like, you don't tell me what to do, you little imp, you. He would just blast Sorbet out the way and just then go off and do what he was supposed to do. So he wouldn't listen to no one tells him what to do.
And you're gonna hear Pilaf. What are you saying? Oh, me? Oh no, sorry, I'm just getting used to be called imp. It's weird when it's not me,
It just doesn't feel right. It feels off for some reason. Okay. Paparazza. What if Beats and Paragus followed the wrong pod and was stranded on Earth? Well, okay, so if Beats and Paragus ended up on Earth, I imagine probably that Paragus would just like lay low. Supplies would be in it wouldn't be a problem. So Beats would survive. Beats shall live. But they probably would just like go their separate ways. In terms of power, Paragus would be really strong. But again, he's trying to like lay low from the Frieza Force, so he'd try and keep quiet.
You know what I can imagine him becoming? A military advisor to either King Fury or in a darker scenario, military advisor to Red Ribbon Army and puppet master behind the army.
Oh, and then he could like do some kind of coup or something like that.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that happening because ultimately, like a lot of those older Saiyans still have that kind of ingrained mindset of pushing for Saiyan conquest and fighting and stuff like that. So
the Supreme General.
Yes, Supreme General indeed. Sam Hennis, what if Cooler was female and was exiled from the Cold Empire because she did the unforgivable? She fell in love with a Saiyan. Ah, yes, a pair of
story for the ages.
Lovers. A pair of star-crossed lovers.
Let's make it even weirder, and let's say that the Saiyan wasn't even a powerful Saiyan. Let's say that the Saiyan was Raditz.
or Beats. Or Beats.
Oh yeah, you could do some more stuff with Beats.
Oh.
Hey, let all this time, changeling and the Beats.
Changeling and the Beats. Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And Raditz would be Gaston in that story.
Oh my god! I want fan art of Raditz as Gaston, like, stat.
And now I'm a man. I eat 5 dozen eggs, now roughly the size of a bird. I literally am. And so is my daughter, apparently. Sorry if that peaked. I just got into it. I got into the moment. Alright, Dark Snake X5. What if Good Boy Cell, if Goku... okay, when is Good Boy Cell? That's coming out next Saturday. Bulma Train Like Goku, probably in the new year. And Future Ranch, probably that as well. I've got a project for December. We will be sharing with you soon. Paparacha. What if the Pilaf saga was a space adventure and Bulma found the 4-star ball with a food preparer Kakarot on Vegeta? Food preparer Kakarot on Vegeta. Oh, so basically, Pilaf saga, they go out into space. Bulma finds the 4-star Dragon Ball with a baby Kakarot on planet Vegeta. So basically, it's the Black Star Balls almost. So the Dragon Balls basically are like in different... I mean, it'd be interesting if it was a space adventure, but I feel like some of the charm would be lost because it's just the scope of it is already like bigger than what most people would think. It's not like kept on Earth and somewhat grounded. And
you would have all those space powers right away because they are kind of big. Frieza Empire, like Galactic Patrol. It can work differently.
Yes.
But
it just again.
I'm making note of that. That's, that may be a fun experiment for.
Yeah, we'll make a note of it. Yeah, we will. Red Dragon. What if Dragon Ball Super started in age 789 instead of 778? Replace Pilaf on Lookout with Bulma's birthday in Battle of Gods. Ignore your Beerus didn't wake up video too. Okay, so in 789, so basically that is GT time. So
GT.
If it like ended up on for the GT time. I don't know. I feel like if it were, then Pilaf and Lookout. So Bulma's birthday, Battle of Gods, and basically Beerus wakes up at a later date. Then I guess
Gotenks definitely give him at least some challenge. I think.
Yeah, he would be doing something. The Super Saiyan God Goku probably would be at a stronger base level at that time, like quite a bit stronger actually after like 15 years. So the relation
dependent on.
Yeah, the relation to
go ahead.
Sorry, if the relation to Beerus is a 10. Instead of Goku being a 7, he'd be like an 8. So he'd be closer to Beerus.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. But what were you gonna say, Soph?
I was just going to say that it really kind of depends, because if you wind up with 15 years of quiet, I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine considering who Goku is, you know, that he'd be willing to do the whole 15 years of quiet thing. But I imagine that there'd be very, very diminishing returns on any gains that the Earth characters could make in a gap large enough to cause like Beerus to show up later than he does in the series. Because I mean, you already had a pretty sizable time skip anyways, even if all the characters aren't aging the way that they should in the anime.
Still, in GT, like, some characters could be too old to like take part in TOP. You need to utilize Bula and Pan, for example.
Yeah, you definitely have to.
Yeah.
Because not everyone like okay, you have Roshi, but like Roshi ages differently. But like, I imagine that Krillin at this point may be kind of reluctant. Like, he can spar with Goku, but
well, and that would actually be you'd wind up with a better scenario in some cases, because you'd wind up being able to explore the next generation of characters more in that future setting, because instead of Krillin, you could send Marin. Instead of some of these other characters, you might wind up with you know, Pan or Bola. And so you could explore those characters. Obviously, they couldn't. And instead of people being like, no, Trunks and Goten can't enter because they're too young, obviously Trunks and Goten would enter. They'd be chomping at the bit to enter, you know, because they'd be old enough that they're probably eager to get some, you know, universe threatening fighting in.
Yeah, they absolutely would be.
And we could have Goten Black in that version.
Yeah, we could. Everyone get Goten Black, everybody. But you happy now? Oh, okay.
This is my super cell phone, Rosé.
Oh, all right, Paparazzi.
Instead of a scythe, sorry, he's fighting with a cell phone.
Oh.
Rose Gold Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Alright, Paparazzi. What if Goku had instinctive control of his Zazaru? Well, for starters, Grandpa Gohan would still be alive, for a start. And if our heroes knew that, if the Dragon Team knew that Goku had control of this Great Ape power, they would be nowhere near as, like, worried when he basically destroys Pilaf Castle. They'd be going like, yeah, Goku, do it! Giant monkey battles! Giant monkey rampage! It basically would be just the Rampage starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That is a fun movie. I liked Rampage. No! White monkey go bad! No! White monkey go bad with dragon! It's so dumb. I saw Philly and I saw it when we were out on a cruise like a couple of years ago. It was like, it's a fun thing to watch at night. And we had this Geordie couple right behind us, and they were like so exclaiming, so, all right, man, that is the best movie I ever seen. It's like, that is so amazing, like. It's like, so The Rock's just like, absolutely fantastic. It's like, this, and the wife was just apologizing for her husband getting so overly animated. But it was fun.
Wow. Well,
funny.
at least somebody was able to appreciate the movie.
I liked the movie. It was perfectly good. I thought it was fun.
I don't care. I didn't care for it, but that's because I'm a stickler for adaptations being accurate, and it's not very accurate.
Nah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough, though. All right. Dark Snake. What are Ranch Goten and Trunks' gaming consoles? And if you've heard of Genshin Impact, what would Ranch Goten and Trunks be in it? I've not really played Genshin Impact. I've not really looked into it, nor am I really that interested, because it's a gacha game but polished. Like, it's really, really polished.
I mean, I must say I like one of my very anti-gacha game friends is playing it, but like, I think I'm not planning to play just on a you know, on the purpose, but like sadly we don't have knowledge. Sophie wanted to say something. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say I tend to stay away from any game with gacha mechanics because I personally find gacha mechanics to be some of the most reprehensible mechanics to put in a game because they are very, very close to gambling, if not outright gambling, and they are oftentimes completely predatory. And I have an easily addicted personality, and so I do not want to get involved with a game that has those kinds of gacha mechanics because I know I would wind up driving myself to ruin.
No, that is absolutely commendable. That's why I don't play Dokkan Battle. I used to like it. I bought like stuff with I made a video about it. Spent like 250 stones on it. I was like, nah, it's getting a little bit too scummy like that. Sorry. But yeah, going back to the original question, Ranch, Goten, Trunks. I imagine Ranch being like a proper retro girl. Like, I imagine she'd probably like have a Game Gear. She'd probably have a Game Gear, like proper old school, trying to be different. Goten, Nintendo, straight up Nintendo. Like, he'd be playing his Switch style. Come on, guys! Yeah, who's gonna play Super Mario Party with me? I promise I won't kick your butt. And then Trunks will probably just do it. He basically almost have he wouldn't have a console. He'd have a stake in Nintendo. Basically say, Mom, for my birthday, can you buy a share of Nintendo, please? I want to give him
I like
the thought.
His PC Master Race.
Oh, yeah,
I like the thought of Trunks. I like the thought of Trunks wanting to be like a really great like gamer. Like whether it be fighting games or any other game, he gets into something hoping to become like top tier, right? And gets into it, and he really, because he takes after Vegeta, he feels that need for competition and to be the best. But he just sucks, and so he gets super frustrated. So he's always jumping from one game to the next, one console to the next, and getting frustrated because he wants to be the best at the game, but he sucks at it. And then Goten, sweet little Goten, is like a master level gamer, and it just peeves Trunks to no end because he's like, I can still beat you in a fight.
he's a pro in Smash, you know, like Goten always has to, you know, when they play Smash, they always need to take it easy on Trunks.
Yeah, basically Goten is like me at Mario Kart. As in, like, he is super intense. It's the most intense you ever see him.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Mohammed Al-Rashid with $100 super chat. Thank you so much, pal. That is really cool. But you say, hey, Masako, got something to ask. Just wanted to give you something as a token of appreciation for all the content over the years. Aw, cheers, buddy. But you said you had something to ask. Can you just, like, tag that for me in the chat? Because I don't think you had something as a question or something like that, or... But either way.
That could have just been phrasing.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, either way, thank you so much. It was really appreciated. It really does mean a lot.
Thank you a bunch.
Means we can really carry on. But Blackjack Giga. Funny idea. What if the RoundTable crew were in the Dragon Ball series their portrayed characters? Oh, I probably would just be a wordsmith. I'd be writing books in the Dragon Ball world like that. That'd probably just be me.
As our portrayed characters, well, then that would make me definitely a fighter. I wouldn't be a Saiyan, believe it or not, even though my character does wear the Saiyan style armor. I just really like the look of the space armor. So like, I would probably be affiliated in some way with Capsule Corp or a different company that had done a bunch of reverse engineering on space tech, and my fighter status, because ultimately I think I would want to be human still. At least as this portrayed character that's on screen, you know, is a human rather than a Saiyan or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe get in some representation for humans who can actually do things.
Fair enough. I'm guessing you probably would be the young apprentice to one Dr. W.
No, not really. Like, I would actually like if I could pick a race. You guys know how I like the Frieza race, but like we need good guy Frieza characters. But actually, I would either be some sort of chronicler or archaeologist to dig up that lore and get out those answers on those questions we have. Or alternatively, I will try to be the advisor for Shin, for Kami's sake, dude.
Yeah. You basically replace Kibito, almost.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Kibito, you are his taxi. You are not helping. You are helping, but you are not helping. You get me.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna have the cut off in about 5 minutes or so. So you got 5 minutes left for your super chats, everybody. Okay. Papa Archer asks, what if Bulma was replaced with Entrapta from Netflix's She-Ra? I think you've asked this before, and again, I feel like not really much would change except that she'd be just shorter, stockier, just a bit more buff. Like, yeah, the aggression, physically to match her personality in that regard. And I feel like that would be kind of cool, and just more of like, an engineer look, as in Bulma looks like an engineer, as in like that instead of just being like, just the way she's portrayed in Dragon Ball.
Don't worry, she's an engineer.
She's an engineer. It's like, I just need to give her the engineer speech from TF2. Get Trina to record that. The Somewhere Man. What if Fake Namek was the real Namek? Ooh.
Is that... Well, play the sound for the Dragon Ball in the West. Yeah, series and its ratings.
I played the. Yeah, well, that it depends whether Fake Namek actually exists. Anyway, Kirby163. What if y'all were in Dragon Ball but you were Cybermen? There.
At least we could take on Yamcha.
Oh yeah, true. So instead of me going, "Hey folks, MasakoX here," it'd be. Oh jeez.
I mean, the crowd spoke. You need to record whole video like that.
Oh god,
no.
No.
In Cybermen language. That's a good April Fool's idea.
No, I couldn't do that.
I want to really quickly remark on something. Pod Paracha was the one who asked about the Netflix She-Ra thing with Entrapta, right? Pod Paracha, I still haven't seen She-Ra, and I don't know if I even really intend to, because it just never really grabbed my interest. So I couldn't really answer the question anyway. Sorry.
I've only seen very minimal amounts of it, like giving it a go and like doing some research from the last time you mentioned it. So that was why I was kind of gleaming from that. Gobi, what if Vegeta say had some informal third-class cities reminiscent of Kowloon World City in design, and what if largely absent administrations? Oh, so wow, this is a really deep question. Jeez, Gobi. Well, I imagine, just like slums, basically. I imagine there probably are, because, of course, there are low-class Saiyans. They just stick the low-class Saiyans in the slums.
I mean, I think those mud huts we saw was the equivalent, because, like, you have the huge castle and stuff, where all the high-class, like the castle/city complex we saw, and you have mud huts. So I think mud huts are the equivalent of the slums, I guess.
Mud. Still, Julia knocked that out of the park. It's still too cute.
Yeah.
Right. Red Dragon Force 2, on behalf of Epic King. What if Goku told Zamasu about Monaka Black? I apologize. This has been on the back burner for me to share for a few weeks. I know!
There is a gag panel drawn by Toyotaro. It's actually fun.
Yeah,
he actually did this.
It's again, it would be so funny. Like, because Zamasu's the kind of person who would take whatever Goku said seriously. Like, yeah, if Goku said, "Oh, wow, you know that Monaka guy, he's stronger probably even than me." And then Zamasu would be like, "Really now? I must go and see this Monaka." And basically, Monaka's making a delivery. He either basically kills the guy he's delivering, and Monaka's like, "Oh man, who am I gonna get the signature from?" It's like, oh man, this is gonna really put a dampener on my day. Why am I sounding like Baldy from Baldy's Education and Learning? Let's learn.
Oh no, we lost Sophie.
Oh
we
no.
lost Sophie.
You okay, Soph?
She's back.
Sorry.
It's okay. No worries.
And I feel that, you know, the funniest thing would be if Zamasu actually has unlocked something in Monaka's body.
Yeah.
That would be even funnier.
Yeah, like my whole video about like what might have been for Monaka. I feel like you could have written Monaka better to really sell the fact that he's such an unassuming little twerp.
The constant casual exposure to Beerus and Whis has resulted in Monaka inadvertently gathering the ability to manipulate God Ki.
Yeah,
I just imagine Monaka, but with, you know, like in the God of Destruction candidate form, like Topo or our Dekraf from Zamasu's.
Yeah.
Motive.
No, I totally imagine that. All right. Anyway, guys, the super chat submissions are now closed. I've seen that you got some last minute ones right there. Thank you all so much for your contributions, everybody. We are now at the cutoff point, so we're now going to go and rattle through what we have in our list. So if you haven't had yours mentioned yet, it's most likely on this list. Papa Podo. What if when either Dragon Ball Super comes back or when we get the original Dragon Ball reboot, it gets put back in the time slot Z used to be in? Oh, so on a Wednesday evening at prime time. Oh, you could then do... Oh, actually, it would probably not be as violent as it was in Z, but it would certainly be closer to it. You could certainly have blood. You could have blood at the very least.
You can be more suggestive.
Yes. Yes, you definitely could. But I don't think it would get to the points of where it was back in the day, because there is more of a Western audience looking at it. So I imagine probably Toei's having to think about Western audiences in a way and go like, yeah, well, we don't want to have the violence too much, you know.
It's less the violence, I've noticed as well, though, because they've toned the violence down, but they've toned all of those aspects of the series that would be considered, you know, outside of the young age range. They've toned all of that stuff down, and in some ways that might be a good thing. In some ways I think it's kind of a bad thing, because it's this general mindset that I've noticed that the West already was kind of privy to, and Japan is starting to kind of like have that same thing sort of seep into their media. Is there's this mindset of infantilizing anything that's aimed at a target audience below the age of like 15 or 16. And so you wind up with, like, I mean, there's a lot of really impactful, powerful moments in like OG Dragon Ball with regards to characters I mean, shoot, Tao Pai Pai, when he first comes onto the scene, he's super menacing, and he's an outright assassin. He kills people on screen and does some pretty bad stuff. Like, if you censor that, right, suddenly he loses a lot of his luster and threateningness, you know. And that's kind of the thing that always concerns me about these remakes and stuff like that, is like, are you gonna keep the spirit and characterization intact with what you're doing here?
It reminds me of a censor thing they did with Gohan, like when Cell was about to puke up 18. He's just the whole and you cut to Gohan and you just hear a plop. You just hear a plop. You don't see 18 being regurgitated. It's just a comical sound effect plop. And you just feel like, wow, has Cell taken a dump or something? It's like, what? It just ruins it. Agreed. All right, Kevin Blanco. What if Future 17 and 18 stole a time machine and went to the past? They're teenagers. They do it for giggles. They do it for the lulz. They do it for the lulz, and they'd be like, oh, hey, cool, sis. Hey, cool, sis. Another planet to destroy. Do you think they have a park that I can range? It's like, yeah, you do you, buddy. It's like... and then they find their present counterparts say, oh, jeez, man, cool. It's like I'm looking in a mirror. Rad. Whoa, totally tubular. And stuff like that. they just go off and have a wild goose chase. Because by that time, they've basically gotten their fill of killing people. They'd just be going around just wanting to have a look around a planet that they hadn't destroyed. It's like, hey, cool, it's a do-over. Nice.
Disclaimer, MasakoX channel is very hip with the kids.
Yes, I am. Absolutely. Joke's on me. I've never been hip with the kids. Even when I was a kid, never hip. No. Again, at a parent-teacher night, people the teacher said, the kids think it's not cool to be friends with Lawrence. Now who's cool, eh? Now who's cool?
Not you, teacher. Not you.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's so funny. I'm watching on Prime, Truth Seekers. It's the new Peg Frost thing, and there's a character in it who is basically a YouTuber, and it's just like, who basically is dismissive of her brother's like new employer, until he says, "Oh, my boss has like a YouTube channel," and immediately she goes like, "How many subscribers does he have? How many? Tell me!" Like, it's like literally whenever I've done like things at Philly's school, like, and they don't really care. They just want to go, "How many subscribers do you have?" And I go like, "About 460,000," and they go like, "Oh, nice, man. Not nice. It doesn't matter what the content is. I've got nearly 500,000 subscribers, and that counts for something." And it's like
the numbers. It's all a numbers game.
Yeah. Numbers. Exactly. All right, super sport. Homesick with strep throat. Oh, hope you get well swiftly, sport. Just take it easy, dude.
Yep.
So what if Bulma and Yamcha stayed together? What would the future Trunks arc be like? I asked the other week, but I think only Mars was there. Okay, so I think I've already answered this. So how would you answer this question? If Bulma and Yamcha stayed together?
You know, like, we are kind of answering that in What If Nappa, so I think they both would be pretty stable. Like, I think Yamcha especially, like, he wouldn't have a lot of his, let's say, insecurities, you know. And with Bulma, I think like she would get along like with both her and Yamcha having pretty good income. I think she could focus more on the sciencey aspect of things, of like, you know, doing her research for fun more than to having to upkeep the family, because like Vegeta is amazing in defending the world, but he's not an earner, you know.
I get you. What about you, Soph?
Gosh, what was the question again? I got distracted by a text message on my phone.
If Bulma and Yamcha stayed together.
If Bulma and Yamcha stayed together, the biggest issues that it would have on the story all come later on in Z, you know, with the future Trunks arc and stuff like that, because you don't have a Super Saiyan there, you don't have the ability to have this person come back and do all of the things that future Trunks had to do. But honestly, I'm one of the few people who is of the personal opinion that Bulma and Yamcha made for a better pair than Vegeta and Bulma. Vegeta and Bulma took a lot of kind of like retroactive continuity and time skipping in order to make it work. And I know that there are some people who out there who will swear by their vegetable, but to be perfectly honest, it's like I'm of the opinion that the Yamcha Bulma breakup was already kind of sus anyway, to use the new turn of phrase from the Among Us fad going on. I'm cool, I'm hip, kids. But I think it would have been fine from a story perspective, a narrative perspective, if they'd have stayed together. The biggest issues would have just come later down the line with trying to get the plot moving for like the Android saga.
No, agreed. Alright, Hannah Rowan. What if Goten, Trunks, and Ranch joined the Teen Titans from the 2003 series? I imagine they'd get on, but the fact is, though, they're not teens yet. They're pre-teens. They're pre-Teen Titans. They're tweens. They're tween Titans.
Tween Titans.
You know,
They would be pretty OP though.
They would be very OP.
I think only Raven could match them, honestly.
Because like it's a
and Starfire, I think. Yeah, Starfire.
Oh yeah.
So
I imagine Ranch and the Starfire would have fun.
Yeah.
You know, I can imagine they would. No, Goten and Starfire. Goten and Starfire. Yeah, because Starfire's like curious to learn everything, and then Goten would just be like, I can teach you. Let's go learn together. Ah, yes, I would like to do the learning with the small black-haired man. It would be fun. Yeah. Hey, Sam Hennis. What if Frieza was bored being proclaimed the strongest being in the universe and having no one to test his full power on? And upon hearing the Super Saiyan legend, instead of fearing it, he embraced it and nurtured the Saiyans. Oh, okay. I could see that. I could see this happening actually. Like, oh, Frieza hears about this, and then they offer to like destroy planet Vegeta. Say, no, keep them around. Every year I shall be conducting a gladiatorial battle, and the strongest Saiyan around will be schooled by me for months.
Oh boy,
and if they turn out to not be as strong as me, I kill them.
I have an idea, guys. Are you familiar with what Mojo Vision is in Marvel Universe, in X-Men Universe?
No.
Basically, like there is that guy Mojo who has like an interdimensional like huge television empire and has a lot of like really brutish reality shows. So what if Frieza like nurture the Saiyans and to get some gains from them, like turn planet Vegeta in one huge, battle royale planet, and the strongest Saiyan would have to fight him, basically. Frieza Vision.
Okay, I think that could be really cool. But again, I feel like Frieza might make a spectacle out of it, certainly.
Yeah.
All right, Benjamin 2000. What if Mr. Satan actually defeated Perfect Cell for real, using pure martial skill? He rings Cell out. Male loser can fly or shoot lasers. Well, okay. I'd have to play the sound because, sure, if somehow Mr. Satan rings out Cell will just blow up the ring and basically just go like, no, and just straight up kills Mr. Satan. And everyone thinks, wow, Mr. Satan really did it. Cell goes like, no. It's like, that was a dumb rule.
I'm afraid
anyway.
I'm calling a mulligan on this one.
It's like, oh yeah, no, it's just basically he would just, it's like, he would just get rid of the ring, just like, basically, I think he would. Podo, what video software do you recommend for doing what if videos in the style of Smugstick, Salad Saiyan, or Carthus vids? I imagine the majority of them use Sony Vegas, because Sony Vegas can pretty much do whatever you need it to do, and I think it's a really neat little piece of software, and it's actually really inexpensive. So I imagine probably I would recommend Vegas to start off with. I use Premiere, but I've always been an Adobe guy, like since I went to uni.
Check Humble Bundle because it tends to be on Humble. I got my Sony slide out of Humble.
Yes, be sure to check Humble Bundle. They always have a bit of a discount there. Good shout have. APC, what if you guys improved Dragon Ball Minus, expanding on the story of Bardock and Ginyu of Super? Hav and I are working on something like that. We have that thing called Dragon Ball Minus 1 that we mentioned in the video. We are working on that. So we are going to be doing stuff like that. And to be honest, the What If Ginyu universe is sort of like a mishmash of Minus and the Bardock special. So you could say the Ginyu universe is somewhat what I do. Somewhat? So you could argue that. George J. In the Yajirobe What If, could the Ronin establish a school similar to the Kiko Kenjutsu sword school that Trunks and Goten found in Dragon Ball Online? I imagine probably if he did train and he decided to make a quick buck, Yajirobe would have a school, but then he would basically just employ people to do the job for him, and he would only train one student per year, and he'd be like, Master Yajirobe, it's time for you to teach that one student. He'd be like, all right, okay, I guess the master's gotta do what he's supposed to do. All right, kid, what's up? You got a sword? No? Go get a sword. And it's like, and he's like, see ya. Basically, no sword, no fight. I imagine. Oh, no. Hey, kid, you brought something to eat? No? Get out of here until you do. Like, he has to be paid in food. Like, basically, the pantry of the dojo is the biggest in the world. Joey Kent. What if Bardock was part of Vegeta's group? And what if Bardock was elite? I imagine if Bardock was an elite, he would have got to that point through sheer attrition. He wouldn't have been born as Saiyan elite. He would have ended up as a Saiyan elite. But no, the majority of people, the elites would hate it.
And they would butt heads often with Vegeta.
Oh, all the time, absolutely. It would be, it would be so counterintuitive. Like nothing would get done. Like it would be ridiculous with how little things get done. It's just, it'd be depressing. Actually, it'd be very demoralizing for people. Yeah. Okay, Gobi. This is from a vivid, bleak dream I had. What if future Gohan had to euthanize people who were grievously injured by 17 and 18? You know what? I imagine that probably happened. I can imagine that happening, that Gohan probably spared people who were really badly injured. Because, think about it. He is a tough, brooding future Gohan with scars, and he's got a deep voice. He is very weary and battle-damaged. Future Gohan is super edge. I can imagine him cracking some necks to spare people.
He's not your grandma's Gohan.
Yes. He's the Gohan that your girlfriend told you not to worry about. It's like
I'm just imagining the Virgin Chad meme now with actual adult Gohan and future Gohan.
No. Basically, no. I can imagine a variation on an image I find kind of hot. That's basically, it's like girl in a hoodie, like with bangs on, and then basically the one tank top, muscular, basically like kind of like proper, like looks really sexy and stuff like that. But it's with regular Gohan, super Gohan, and then future Gohan, as in like he's meeting your dad, as in like nice to meet you, sir, future Gohan. Your daughter calls me daddy too.
Oh god, proper, that meme.
Oh yeah, that meme. As in like properly like no future Gohan. Yeah, he's proper edge. He's proper edge. Okay. Shark jumping walrus. What if we fix the fake Namek saga, like making it so there was more of a point to it than psych? You thought this was Namek. I imagine probably that you would still need to have like. I imagine if you made it like if you made an allusion to the whole idea of the Greek sirens, that would be cool. Like, it's basically all like the sirens from Red Dwarf, basically. You could just have it. It's that there are these shape-shifting aliens that turn into anything based on the desires and what's on the mind of the people that they communicate with. So basically, they need to get to Namek. They then find Namek, but it's these actual sirens who are like luring them down onto the planet to try and steal their ship, or just to suck their brains.
I would make them to try to steal their ship. It would be cooler if those aliens had sympathetic edge, like if they were stuck and like lost hope and were unable to, for some reason they were unable to leave,
Yeah. You have to give those aliens feelings. Absolutely. Barbaracha. What if Zamasu challenged future Trunks to a fiddle contest complete with key fiddle? Oh, so it's basically the future boy. The future boy went to the future. As in like, trying to think of a thing from The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Right, but either way, I'm down with that. But I imagine future Trunks would like have like a proper play that fiddle hard. I would say. That would be cool, though. And hey, get Kanji Yamamoto to do it. Just rip off that song, because that's what he does. He basically does it all the time.
Zamasu, just come on back if you ever want to try again. I told you once, you son of a gun. I'm adorable.
Ah.
Gosh darn it.
No, I'm adorable. It's like... Alpha Trion X. What if Angela stuck around Vidal's rival for Gohan's affections? Angela.
I don't remember Angela, but I could tell you this much: like Gohan has that sort of harem protag. Teen Gohan in high school has that sort of harem protag energy that I could totally see working if you did a slice of life spinoff with various different. I mean, even adult Gohan, really, when Videl and Gohan are married, still has that kind of like harem protag energy. So if you take these characters that show up at any given point in the series as rivals or potential rivals for Gohan's affection, then
okay, right, and have pointed out to us that actually she did go out on a date with Gohan. So she did, and cute redhead.
Got one date out of it.
Oh, that's cute. Cute redhead. Nice. But yeah, no, I'd absolutely agree with that. So the Somewhere Man. What if Cell could never feel complete, even after becoming perfect? It's like, you know, you've been striving for something for so long, but when you actually have it, was it even worth it? Isn't life meaningless out there, in the great cosmos of things? Is everything pointless? Is me being perfect just part of life's great machinations? Oh well, I'm gonna go blow things up now. Later, breeders. And stuff like that. As in, like, he would just be very...
Anyway, it's time for my craft brewing session.
Yeah, it's just like... yeah. No. I imagine he'd probably be quite deep and introspective. Hannah Owen. What if the What If crew could choose a partner Pokemon? What would your partner starter be? Gardevoir! Gardevoir for me.
Okay, Moss. I have to ask the question.
Yes.
Why Gardevoir?
Because strong psychic type Pokemon. The fact that she can make black holes at will, that sounds kind of awesome. For a start. And also, also, for a start, good psychic fairy Pokemon.
I'm pressing X to doubt, Moss. I am pressing X to doubt. Who in the chat is with me? Who doubts Masako's intentions?
All right, fine.
Masako is pretty sus. I vote for Matt.
Okay, fine. If I can't have Gardevoir, it'd be a Dragonair.
You're not even picking starter You're picking evolutions. You're supposed to be picking like starters, you know.
All right, fine. All right, Fennekin then. Fennekin. All right, there.
Rico.
Mine would be a Torchic. Blaziken is probably my favorite Pokemon across all the generations. So, apart from Bulbasaur, because I have big nostalgia with Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is my favorite starter because it was my first Pokemon I ever had. But Blaziken is kind of my go-to. So. Also, Tails FX says Finnegan's just Gardevoir for furries, Masako.
What?
It gets tamer with Delphox, and I really like Delphox.
All right, fine. How about Squirtle then?
Even Tala, my doggo, is doubting your mass. I don't know if you heard.
Squirtle. Squirtle was my first starter when I first played Pokemon ever. I was a Squirtle boy. Fine.
Okay. So
we're never letting you live it down now, Maz.
So fun fact, like the oldest Pokemon I currently have, like in my Sword and Shield save data is my Trico, and I think next year he will turn 18. So I have that Pokemon for a pretty long time. My Sceptile, so it's Trico.
Oh, you gotta take him out in the town. Give him his first drink. Oh, that's cute. All right.
Not in US though.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful there. You gotta be careful there. Pampapoda.
Not in Unova. Sorry.
All right. In my Dragon Ball X Undertale What If, I had a funny idea. Instead of going to the bottom of the sea, the rice cooker was entrusted to Asgore, and he stuck it under his bed. So for almost 300 years, King Piccolo had to listen to Asgore and Toriel's lemony times every night. Imagine what effect that would have.
Well, considering that Namekians themselves reproduce asexually, I feel like Piccolo Daimao, considering he made a bunch of petty sweeping laws when he quote unquote took over the Earth in OG Dragon Ball anyway, like I could totally imagine him popping out and saying, "All right, for the first rule of business, reproductive action is banned."
Yeah, he'd just be like, yeah. Yeah, no, I imagine he would do that. That's funny. That's funny. He would definitely have an axe to grind. Let's just say that. Joey Kent. What if Raditz and Goku switched roles? Or what if Broly and Goku switched roles? Well, Goku would actually genuinely be the legendary Super Saiyan with the green hair and all. And can you like Raditz being the strong Saiyan with potential and stuff like that? Like the shorter, angry brother being the one that comes to Earth and stuff like that. I can imagine like Raditz's personality actually lending itself to being the protag. You know, definitely a Kamina type vibe for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, Alphadillo Gonadicus. I like that name. That name is cool. Alphadillo Gonadicus. What if Launch decided to try harder to get with Tien, began training, and became our first female Z fighter, complete with gun-based key attacks? I imagine Tien would actually be really impressed. Like, you know, he would question her motives for doing it just to get in his pants and to get his attention, and he would be like, have you been like still robbing banks and stuff? It's like, yeah. How? What do you expect for me to be able to pay the martial artists to train? Yeah, I gotta be paying them something.
Now it's easier because I can beat up the guys, you know.
Yeah.
That's not how the martial arts work.
As in it'd be a hard knight says, that's not how martial arts works. Basically like that.
Also, if you want a Z fighter launch, you know, our Boxa, What If Goku Landed at Capsule Corp, has fighting launch.
Yeah, and you might get a little taste of it in episode 7 of R&R. You get a nice little taste of that too.
Yep.
Okay, John Coleman. Masako, my niece likes to play with the ranch plushie that I bought when you were selling them. Oh, that's really sweet.
Aww.
Oh, John, you got to tweet a picture of that. That'd be so cute. Yeah, that'd be really, really sweet. APC. Breaking Majin Buu even more, could he turn mountains into infinite amounts of sensu beans? I guess in theory. They probably wouldn't be as perfect as actual sensu beans, but if he knew what one looked like, he could probably do it. Like, he can turn the king of the demons into a giant biscuit. So, yeah, I think it's within his power to do that. Sam Hennis. What if fusions were not a clean separation and the two individuals retain personality traits and abilities of the other, like Vegeta inheriting instant transmission and Goku being more serious? I sort of allude to that in R&R. Like, I believe that fusions do retain memory of the battle that they're in. And I also think they probably do, like, have the potential to, like, gain attacks of the other if they are potent enough. So I imagine that there are, like, things that do last on as legacy memories and stuff. So I totally believe that being plausible.
I think that they are more on subconscious level, like those from the other person, than on conscious level. You know, like it's like a dream they had. At the same time, I feel.
Yeah, I could definitely see that myself. I think it would be. It's the type of thing that's not really. I probably wouldn't say it's not for the kind of shonen that DBZ tries to be, because it kind of gets into that existential thinking. Because if you have stuff like personality, like if you have like overlap of personality and like there's some kind of like personality pollution from fusion and stuff like that, like I feel like it would make it very. It would start to get a little bit too serious, too introspective, too existential for something like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I think so. No, I'd agree with that. Now going something a bit more levity, the Somewhere Man. What if Goku stole the Devilmite Beam? Well, normally, he's not one with negative emotions, so it would actually be really not that powerful. But if he had negative thoughts when Krillin was killed, it would probably be absolutely... it would blast King Piccolo away, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, imagine if Moro had that.
Oh god.
Oh gosh.
Oh god. Oh jeez. No, he'd be totally unstoppable. Good point though, Somewhere Man. Joey Kent. What if Kami could unlock potential like Guru? And what if Goku learned fusion in the Saiyan saga on Snake Way? I imagine you'd probably have Krillin. Like Goku would fuse with Krillin, probably just out of desperation. So you got the two best friends fighting together, Krillin against Vegeta and Nappa, and Kami unlocking potential. Probably not be as effective as Guru, but probably enough to at least give some kind of meaningful boost relatively quickly. Like, Nappa would have a bit more of a challenge, let's say that. Joey Kent, what if Kami made an egg like King Piccolo did? I imagine if he did, then, if he did do that, and then Kami and Piccolo fused, the Dragon Balls would probably still be, they would still be around. Because Kami's connection, the essence of Kami and that association with Piccolo is still there. So I imagine, the Dragon Balls would still exist. So they wouldn't become inert. Envy Mizuhashi. I'm surprised people didn't like Moro's goat face, even though he's the closest thing the series has to the Baphomet. Yeah, we did allude to that in our Moro Everything You Need to Know video. We quite like that association with the Baphomet and stuff like that. It's certainly very different. But the thing is, though, it's just like, Taro, transformations and all that stuff. It's like...
I like the goat face for two reasons. One, because the goat face is unique among villains, because we get presented with an animal character that's actually like a legitimate threat, unlike characters like the trio, the Danger, and stuff like that.
Yes.
You get presented with a character with animal features that's actually a threat. And also because the goat face combined with his planet eater-esque powers, with him consuming energy and stuff like that, remind me a ton of OG Gen 1 Rescue at Midnight Castle T-Rex from My Little Pony. Like, that was one of the most, like, surprisingly evil, like, terrifying villains of my childhood. And Goat Face Moro reminded me of him a lot.
I did see associations with that when I saw it, like, from MLP, and I'm like, oh, did Toyotaro steal something from... I'm like, it made me laugh for a long time. Alright, Somewhere Man. What if people who get resurrected had to be reincarnated into a new body? So basically, if they get revived, their soul has to be in another body. That'd be interesting. There'd be certainly a bit more stake, as in, like, if your body's not preserved, then you have to fulfill the soul of another person. Dead man's boots, almost. That'd be kind of in a quandary. Do you dare, like, evacuate the soul of another being just for your sake? Bit deep for Dragon Ball, but it's a good thought experiment. Kirby163. What if Trunks did the Super Saiyan God ritual to fight Black? If he did do that, he probably would be a little bit stronger against Black, but at the same time, the closest time he'd be able to do it is when he would go back to the future, and you'd have Super Saiyan Rose. So,
you wouldn't necessarily have Super Saiyan Rose, because you got to remember that Goku Black never actually transforms into Super Saiyan, let alone Super Saiyan Rose, until after he has had an opportunity to fight for a prolonged period of time Goku and Vegeta.
True.
And so if you go based just on the fact that Black might not immediately think I can transform, think I can go Super Saiyan, or think I can go Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan Rose in his case. if Trunks were to go to the past, get training, get what he needed from the ritual and stuff like that, and then he just kind of dunked on Black really quickly right away, from the get-go, right? Then he could probably get the job done.
Yep, fair point.
The real problem would be when Immortal Zamasu pops in to be like, "Hey, saw you killed Black. Not a fan of that. By the way, I'm immortal, so you can't kill me."
Yeah, true. John Belcher. What if people who were resurrected by the Dragon Balls came back undead? I imagine probably it would just be a rather interesting little twist, but again, shows there actually is some consequences. Like, you don't just get a scot-free get out of death 3 card or something like that. And again, you then have like special race of the undead, like you sort of see in movie 12, sort of like just somewhat zombies and stuff like that. Podo, since getting 7 human souls basically turns a monster into a god and gives them some control over reality, would this happening get the attention of the other deities of DBX Undertale timeline? Yeah, I would definitely say so. You're basically finagling with magic there, boy. What do you think you be doing there, messing around with the mean on the life and death there, boy? You don't be doing that. Without risking the ire of the gods. Yeah, so I'd agree, Podo. Cornell 101. What if Gohan's anger got the better of him during Vidal's match and he brutally ended Spopovich in front of Vidal and everyone else? Well, first of all,
Vidal would have probably... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, well, Vidal probably wouldn't have seen it because she was unconscious. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, well, no, Gohan would then be charged with murder because, he'd be disqualified for a start. Then he would be basically talked back to the police for, about accounts with murder. They then would have to explain, it's okay, we have Dragon Balls which can bring him back to life. People would then learn about the Dragon Balls. About, yeah. Oopsie. Red Dragon Force 2, as in Krillin. It's me, Krillin, everyone's friend. Everyone's friend, Goldo. I'm not arguing this. I just appreciate someone not getting on my case. Everyone's friend. Again, I like that moment in the latest Ginyu, as in like Krillin's got Goldo's back. I like that. That was fun. Your first 3 super chats were meant to be sent last week, but my signal. Okay, your first 3 super chats were meant to be sent last week, but my signal went to crap as soon as the stream started last week. Okay, Polo, thanks very much for the clarification. Sam Hennis, in a canon Cooler movie, I want to see Frieza working with Vegeta to fight Cooler, while Goku goes and gets Broly in a Patara earring, becoming Broku. Well, we get Karoli, like we get in Dragon Ball Fusions, the very, very good 3DS game. So we get Karoli. But I imagine Frieza eventually trying to stop Cooler would work with Vegeta. It'd be a nice kind of like buddy cop situation thing. So I think it'd be like that. And you would certainly get Karoli. Hey, get Broly in with a fusion. Everyone would like that. And Podo says, I think I missed a detail in the Halloween what if. Why didn't Frieza, Cold, Vegeta, or Trunks show up? Well, because it's filler. Because it's filler. And, yeah. Because it's filler. Filler night. There you go, Podo. And could the Halloween what if get a part 2? That's a Christmas miracle? No, the Christmas miracle will be something we will explain just before December starts. We have that Christmas miracle coming. So we got that.
Yeah.
James Cameron. For referring back to rebooting Dragon Ball, a few ideas. Goku knows his origin. His spacecraft survived, he goes to his pod as a safe place. Goku's pod has a message from Guinea about being protected with friends and family. Well, yeah, sort of, James, actually. We do, in our video that we did today, Hav and I, we basically do want to allude to, the whole thing about knowing about space. Like, we learn about the Saiyans almost immediately. Like, there's no point pretending that we don't know the Saiyans exist and stuff like that, because it's wasting everybody's time. So we gotta have it, like, the connection to the space and stuff like that, it has to be alluded in there somewhere. Like, so that means we all know. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But either way, those ideas are really good, James. Thank you. Paparacha, what if Battle of Gods took place before the Buu saga? Powers adjusted, of course. I think probably if that were the case, I'd have to play the sound. Because Beerus's power would still be almighty, and the base form of like Goku getting Super Saiyan God would be nowhere near as interesting. Like, I know you can adjust powers and stuff like that, but Beerus's power is constant. That's the thing. Beerus's power does not change. It's been like that for millions of years. So you got to take that into account. APC. Funny thought. Cell's perfect jaw versus Dabura's majestic chin. Ooh, that's interesting. But I have to admit, the jawline, Cell's jawline's got me there. I will have to say. Lucas Bell. I got this idea from the little conversation between Kid Gohan and Frieza in Xenoverse 2. What if Raditz had a son? You know, like before coming to Earth and all? Probably wouldn't do much, but was just curious. What you think? I can imagine out there probably Raditz having a boy, half Saiyan boy out there in the stars, like that he's not aware of. Like the legacy of Raditz lives on in some way.
I feel like it would be more plausible in a scenario where Raditz breaks away from Vegeta for some reason. Like, say, in the What If Gine came to Earth with Goku timeline, where he became Freedom Fighter Raditz. But I mean, you kind of have to wonder whether or not any of the Saiyans, apart from Tarbell, even considered sowing their oats, so to speak, just because of the fact that A, they were constantly being sent out on these missions for Frieza, and B, they kind of had the whole weight of being the last of their species weighing down on them, and they probably didn't know, especially considering what we know of how Saiyans went about birthing new Saiyans with birthing pods rather than like actual physical doing the deed and all that other kind of stuff. Knowing what we know about Saiyan culture, they may never have even considered it for a while. Like,
No, that's a good point there, actually. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What was the next one? The Somewhere Man. What if every Namekian had a good and evil half? Well, it would certainly mean there'd be more Namekians, that's for sure. But it would certainly bring the idea of evil Namekians closer to reality, like we get in Dragon Ball Online. We just get them in actual Z. So, again, I feel like it'd be good. There's always a kind of like battles, rivalries, and all that stuff. So I feel like it would certainly make Namek a much less dull place. Let's just say that. Benjamin 2000. What if when Goku went to King Kai's the first time, he found Ulibu training as well? When told Earth is in trouble, he demands to join the fight. That would be cool. Like, Ulibu and Goku train together on King Kai's planet, and Ulibu comes back with Goku to help for like a day. That'd be cool. Like, I'd like to see Ulibu in there, and I think Ulibu would actually be really strong. He'd be really powerful against Vegeta. And I think he would definitely help. He would like to see
It would be nice to see... It would be nice to see some of the Otherworld characters get a little bit of, something, because while they may have been introduced mostly just to make up filler time, I actually think that there's some interesting potential with some of them. Olibu, Pycon, obviously, but I think that would be cool, having Olibu show up to help with stuff.
Oh yeah, no, you bet. I think that'd be really, really fun. Absolutely. Okay, Sam Hennis. What if Gohan had resented Goku for never being at home and always going off to train, like the dynamic between Boruto and Naruto? I imagine he sort of does, but it's like a low-key thing. So let's say if it was like more aggressive, like I imagine he probably would eventually call Goku out on it, basically just calling him out for not being a really present parent and stuff like that. But again, I feel like it would be something like he would probably put it on the back burner because saving the planet and all of that, but let's just say that his relationship with his father wouldn't be that healthy at all. It would certainly be like that. Benjamin.
Yeah.
Crossover, what if the Joker was a mid-Dragon Ball villain, long dead by the start of Z, yet at the same time the Clown Prince of Crime left his mark? I imagine basically what he then becomes what sort of like Frieza is now. Frieza is basically the Joker of Dragon Ball at the moment. Like, Goku cannot live without Frieza, and Frieza cannot live without Goku in his life.
Ugh. Annoying.
I think that's the case.
Would be funny though if they made Joker a villain for TN.
Ooh, that could be fun.
For the only serious character in the series, as we know.
Benjamin then goes again. P-Brain, what if Raditz turned good? Normal Brain, what if Nappa turned good? Big Brain, what if Frieza turned good? Galaxy Brain, what if the Ginyu First Force turned good? Omniscient Ascendance, what if Moro turned good? Yeah, Moro turning good, like, yeah, no. Even I made Frieza turn good, and Moro, no. That's not possible. Paparacha, what if Oob was Oopa's son? Oh, man. Well, the thing is, though, Oopa, he's not from that village, but I imagine probably he's in the... I think Oob comes from the same village as King Chappa. So, I imagine it's more along those lines. But if Oob was Oopa's son, it'd be a nice little connection to Goku, like saying, ah, so you're Oopa's boy. That's cool. How they doing? How's Bora? It'd be a nice little connection to Dragon Ball, certainly. Craig Twitchell.
Yeah.
What if Toriyama kept continuity and didn't forget stuff from OG Dragon Ball Super, with the caveat that Goku was a Saiyan the whole time? Well, the thing was, though, I feel like there is a lot of stuff that in Super is callbacks from Dragon Ball. There are a lot of callbacks, which are, yeah, in there in terms of the narrative and stuff.
Still, a lot of them are Toei and not Toriyama.
I know, but it was...
On the other hand, like, Toriyama forgets stuff, but it's less than we... He just doesn't care that much. Like, sometimes it's not that much of him not remembering, but just not caring. Or people taking interviews with Toriyama way too serious. Like Earthworm.
This is true of a lot of different mangaka, especially when they're writing for the shonen.
Yeah.
When they're writing for shonen, the same thing happened with Masashi Kishimoto when it came to Naruto. You know, like when he was asked to design Hinata and Naruto's children, like, first off, like, over the course of writing Naruto, he outright expressed in an interview once, like, frustration with how obsessed some people were with the character of Hinata. Like he I think his words were something like, I go to these places and talk to people, and all they want to ask me about is Hinata, and I'm like, she's just a minor character, you know, it's not a big thing. But eventually they went and they did the whole thing with hey, could you design Hinata and Naruto's kids? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he designs the kids in the epilogue for the Naruto manga, and neither of the children had Byakugan. And when he was asked about it, he was like, oh, I literally forgot that was a thing. And it's like, it's one of the most important dojutsu in the entire series, and you just forgot.
No, absolutely. And Hirohiko Araki in JoJo does a similar thing. People accuse him of, oh, you forget about things that happened in battles and stuff like that. You forget about characters. No, Araki doesn't forget. He knowingly moves on. Like, you have a battle with someone. You have a stand battle. It's a really elaborate stand battle, really well explained, and then as soon as it's done, it's never spoken of again. Like, rarely, like really rarely, do you get callbacks to like previous battles and stuff like that. Maybe if it's in connection to a Joestar being in a different part, maybe you might get that, but that's more like fan service. In terms of the average stand battle, you have the thing, you have the technique being used, and then things do never get mentioned again. You move on to the next one, and that's the thing. Yeah, and people, and they say, well, Mr. Araki, Golden Experience could, do this in this part. Why can't he do it in that? Why isn't Golden Experience in part 6? He could totally save the day. It's like, no, his part's done. He's not going to bring Giorno in for part 6. Sorry. I mean, I can imagine for David Production...
Listen up, you little...
I imagine probably they'll stick in a Giorno cameo. They'll have him in America in Part 6. Of course they will. A grown-up Giorno. They'll get Araki. Hey, can you design Giorno in his late 20s or something like that, going to America? He can go to Disney. He goes to Disneyland. He goes to Orlando. There you go. Have fun with that. There you go. That's what they'll do. I know they will do it. Actually, I want to do a video about what will Dragon Ball fans like about JoJo. So I'm like, a Dragon Ball fan's guide to JoJo. So I might do that, actually. I think that could be fun. Okay. Benjamin, what if Toei didn't hate Team 4-Star with the burning power of 1,000 suns? Oh, actually love their fandom and embrace them and appreciate them for their absolute remarkable knowledge and enthusiasm? Oh, is that too much?
I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but I mean, guys, these are big corporate entities that only really care about maintaining their stranglehold on their intellectual property. You know, it's similar for stuff like Disney too. You know, they do the whole hey, stop messing around with our stuff, purely because they don't want anybody else to have the potential to make money off of it. I mean, like, in a couple of years, we're going to be seeing the mouse go up for possible public domain soon again. And you can bet your butt Disney's going to push for an extension on the public domain time again. And they're probably going to get it because they got all that money. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to big corporations, they don't actually care about the engagement from a fan standpoint. They don't care about the engagement from the standpoint of someone who enjoys their work. When it's a corporate-led thing like this, you know, whether it's Disney or Toei or whoever is in charge, it all comes down to the bottom line. It comes down to profitability. They can't profit from your fan nonsense, and so they see it as a hindrance. You know,
it's only people, you know, on the low end of the food chain that appreciate that stuff. You know, all those people who make the hard work, really, the real hard work.
Yeah, unfortunately that is very much the case. It really is. Jake Bean, hey Masako, what if you actually had to have a pure heart to become a Super Saiyan, or what if Vegeta couldn't become a Super Saiyan? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to play the sound. Because Vegeta comes Super Saiyan, saves Goku, and kills Android 19. If he couldn't do that, then that leaves a lot of things. Yeah, the Dragon Team would be screwed. Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That leaves a lot of things quite problematic for our Dragon Team, guys.
Yes. Yeah, especially in the early Android saga. Like, seriously, it would leave it very precarious. Necessary evil, I'd say. Willow, what if Master Roshi helped with the Saiyans and ended up at King Kai's? So basically, if Roshi ended up succumbing to his injuries and stuff like that, and he ended up with Goku, they went to King Kai's together.
They would go along. Oh boy, they would go along, sadly.
Oh, yeah. They really would. Margie and Hercule, what if future Mirrors trained future Trunks? Well, that's a good point, actually, because...
That's a cool idea. That's a cool idea.
It is a good point, actually, because Mirrors is not attached to a god of destruction, so therefore wouldn't be dormant.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, he's got the temptation to help mortals well beyond what his purview is.
Absolutely. So
he likes his stuff, so you know he could appreciate a good swordsmanship.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. Red Dragon Force, Moro. I am the Earth. Caesar Raleigh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Get that little girl away from me! No!
That's not a little girl. That's a monster.
Take away that weak character from me.
Yeah. Molly Shadows. What if Bardock was actually a scientist? Well, we do have the picture to prove it in episode 5. He is a scientist. But in actual seriousness, if he was, then he basically just would be... He'd have a Slavic accent, as per the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie to start off with. I don't know whether Sunny Straight can actually do one, but yeah, there you go. Yeah. So basically, he'd actually be creating the Power Ball, and yeah. So there you go. Vulcan. In Goku defeated Roshi, what if Goku with Frieza's ship went to Vampa and found Broly and Paragus, with Paragus putting Goku in the healing chamber? It's an idea, but I think Goku ends up at Yardrat, if I remember correctly. It's been an absolute whirlwind. I've recorded that video like weeks ago. But
which one?
Goku defeated Roshi.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go to Yardrat. Like he goes to Earth.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I got it mixed up. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But this is if he went to Vampa, I imagine still he probably would be still very like sore about Frieza's Frieza's stuff and everything happening to all the Saiyans and stuff, and yeah, he would still be.
He would gladly accept Paragus' effort to take out Vegeta, though.
Yes, definitely. Basically, this would be the thing for him to move on from Ten Shinhan. Vegeta would now be his goal. He would be.
Yeah.
All right, Vulcan. In Goku defeated Roshi, what if Kami picked Goku and Ten Shinhan, both of them? Well, it would certainly it would either do one of two things. It would either settle the squabble between them, or it would intensify it. Because it would intensify it probably due to the fact that it's basically Kami not making a decision, and Goku wanting to prove that he is the best out of the two.
Yeah. It becomes kind of a Baron Mordo and Doctor Strange situation. Yeah. Because you wind up with these two rivals being trained by, Kami in this case, which would be the stand-in for the Ancient One. And in the what if Goku defeated Roshi, what if, Goku's got this real petty kind of selfishness because of how obsessed he is with being the top dog, being the best. So I feel like them being made to be rivals would actually be counterproductive, a counterproductive situation for Kami, and he would probably regret it immediately.
Yeah. And later on, Tien would be, King Piccolo, I come to bargain.
He really would be. He would be. All right, okay, with that is it for the roundtable for another week. Thank you all so much for your contributions. They have been really good ideas here. And once again, Soph, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And I hope you can all look forward to the next What If we have on the docket, which is going to be... it's going to be What If Future Trunks and Mai stayed in the past part 4. And we did get Arthur's ones they were just done in all in one go. So we did do that at the beginning. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here. Stay safe, everyone, wherever you are, and we shall see you again very soon. Take care, everybody, and have a very good evening. Bye.
Bye, everyone.